right. Okay, we're waiting for other people to join, and so we can start. Can start. Okay, we're waiting for other people to join, so we can start. Today I'm going to talk. Continue from where I stopped yesterday on money, investment, and the future. So I have to start by recapping what I said yesterday. Yesterday I spoke about money, investment, and the likes. So yesterday I was able to address the issue of exchange, how you can make money through the of countries based on where you are coming from, based on your country. Right now, when you study the situation that's going globally, economically, almost all the countries of the world are already in economic depression. A lot of people have lost their jobs. So with this, a good investor, somebody that knows how to take calculated dive into this situation and come out strong, can come out very, very strong. So I talked about how you can, if your country money is actually going down against the dollars, you can withdraw your money, buy US dollars. When the pandemic is over, you can resell to make a whole lot of money from your money. Yes, you make money from money. Second thing I talked about, people going into the kind of investment that people should go into in this time or after the pandemic, the kind of investment that will yield profit. So you can go into agriculture, you can go into poultry farming, you can go into fishery or fish pond. Amount of money, use good amount of money based on how you are able to manage it. So these were the things part of the things I spoke about yesterday. Today I'm going to say a few things. I just want you to stay online, because what I'm about to share is experience. I'm not talking theory, I'm talking based on life experience. I'm talking based on life experience. So you may learn a lot from what I'm about to say. So I want you to stay tuned, stay online. You can as well come to join us on this financial, I can call it financial seminar, or financial updates. So I know a lot of money from it. Like I said, in 2015, in 2015, I had only 35,000 my country currency, which was around which was approximately at that time 35,000 is about $200. It's about $200. But within 2 years, this money ran into millions, because of the political situation that surrounds my country at the moment. There was a transition in the government. Because of this transition, the the new government find it difficult to actually manage the economic situation of the country, which actually affected the exchange rate. It affected the exchange rate, and the thing now made our currency to actually be devalued. The currency was devalued, and because of that, $1 rose to 520 from 163 to 520. So I was so lucky and so calculative to have withdrawn all my money. The money I had then was 35,000. By 2016 ending, the money has already rose to millions, because I was using it, I was transacting, people were paying me money from my currency. I was transferring to the countries that they needed to buy goods from, because at the time, people were not allowed to buy or to buy goods, to get dollars from the bank to import goods from countries like China, Japan, and United States of America. So what the people at home were actually doing was, send the money to wherever they needed to buy their goods from, and they're actually paying it in country currency, so we give them equivalent. So with that, you see, it was so quick for people like us at the time to actually grow our money. It was so quick for us to grow our money, and at the end of the day, by 2017, there were a little bit stability in the currency, in the exchange rate. By that time, we've already made the money movement. So in this pandemic situation, a very wise man, or somebody that is calculative in nature, can as well take the risk. You can take the risk and join the millionaires. You can take the risk and join the millionaires. Exchange rate in my country is about 456, unlike what it was 3 weeks ago. Unlike what it was 3 weeks ago. 3 weeks ago, it was about 350. So that is that. So today, I want to talk about what you need to know. What you need to know about money. One thing we don't understand, most of us I want to start this way. A whole lot of us, there are some common things we don't take into consideration when it comes to money. There are some common things we don't take into consideration, like somebody who wants to save money for long time use. Before you save your money, or before you open account, know how much whatever you are saving will give you as an interest every month. You should know how much your money will be given to you, how many percentage interest will be given to you every month. Now, for every country, you can check from your Google and know the bank in your country that pays high interest in savings account. You can check, like in my country, when you type the banks that pay high interest, to savings account, you see a whole lot of them. There were about 6 or 7 of them. So you can choose any of them that you would want to open account. And in those banks, there are different kinds of account that can give you a high volume interest. If you are the kind that wants to save your money, you want to save money, there are different kinds of account that you have to open, so that at the end of the day, you don't just leave your money to the banks to be using, making money and doing business without giving you anything, because that's your money. So you have to ask the bank, what is the interest rate? What is the interest rate for this money that I am paying? So that is it. You have to do that. You have to do that to make sure that you are not actually helping other people to be worthy, to be rich, to stand strong, while you are grumbling or you are static financially. So you have to know what you have to know what is interest. You have to know what is interest. What kind of interest are they paying to your account? You have to understand something. Today, I want to dwell more on 2 things. Number one is I want to talk about wealth and the rich, the wealthy and the rich. There is difference between you are rich, and there is difference between being rich and being wealthy. There is a big difference between being rich and being wealthy. A lot of people are rich, but they can never be wealthy. A lot of people are rich, but they can never be wealthy. Now, you ask yourself, what is the difference between somebody that is rich and somebody that is wealthy? When you understand this, now you know what to do to actually break yourself from where you are to where you ought to be. What is the difference between a rich person and a wealthy person? What is the difference between a rich person and a wealthy person? This is the kind of question somebody that wants to grow financially needs to ask himself. What are the wealthy doing? What makes this person rich and what makes this person wealthy? There is a very wide difference between the rich and the wealthy. The same way you have difference between the rich and the poor. There is difference between the rich and the poor, and there is difference between the rich and the wealthy. A rich man is not a wealthy man. A wealthy man is a rich man. While a rich man is not a poor man. A poor man is not a wealthy man. Is not a rich man. Now, one thing you have to understand is riches can be instant. Riches can be instant, but wealth is a process. Riches can be instant, but wealth is a process. Wealth takes time. It takes time. Riches can be overnight. Somebody can be rich overnight, but nobody can be wealthy overnight. It's not possible. Nobody can be wealthy. Nobody can wake up and say, "Oh, I am wealthy." You cannot be wealthy overnight, but you can be rich overnight. Now, how do you know the rich and the wealthy? How do you know the rich and the poor? Now, when somebody is rich, a rich man lives in a very nice house, drive luxury cars, wear luxury clothes, shoes, wristwatches, go to luxury hotel. These are rich life. We call it rich life. This is a rich man's kind of life. So that's what, when you see this kind of people, the kind of car they drive, the kind of houses they live, where they go for what they do, the hotel they stay, you know that this person is rich. This person is rich. Now, it's different from being wealthy. Is different from being wealthy. One of the difference between a rich person and a wealthy person, one of the difference is duration. Duration. That is time. How long does your rich last? How long does the money you've gotten, how long does it last? That is one of the difference. One of the difference between a rich person lasts. That's the question that you have to ask yourself. How long? So that's number one different. Number two different thing you have to know between a wealthy person and a rich person, like I said before, is time. Is time. Is time. Is time. Time is the difference. Somebody can be rich today, and at the end of the day, after 5 years, the person is no more rich. So time expires the money of a rich man, while time increases the wealth of a wealthy man. Time expires the money of a rich man, while time increases the wealth of a wealthy person. So a rich person expires with time. A wealthy person increases with time. A rich person expires with time. A wealthy person increases with time. Another thing you have to understand, that a wealthy person has a sustainable wealth. He has a sustainable wealth. A wealthy person has a sustainable wealth. Now, while a rich person does not have a sustainable wealth. A rich person has an immediate satisfactory wealth. A rich person has an immediate satisfactory wealth, while a wealthy person has a sustainable wealth. Another thing which is very, very important is riches are measured by the amount of money you have. Riches are measured by the amount of money you have. Wealth is not measured by dollars. Wealth is not measured by the liquid or the amount of money that you have. Riches are measured by the number of cars you own, houses you live, clothes you have, wristwatches, all those things. Riches are measured by your wealth, by your money, while wealth is not measured by dollar. Wealth is measured by the extent that their money have stayed over. You ask yourself, why has this person's money stayed over 50 to 100 years? You ask yourself why. Those people are wealthy people. Now you ask yourself, what did they do? What did they do to be wealthy? So those are things I want to talk about. Those are things I want to talk about on this live broadcast. Those are things I want to talk about. How does the wealthy grow their money to be transgenerational? How does the wealthy grow their money to be transgenerational? Now, another difference between a rich person and a wealthy person is knowledge. See, listen to me. A rich person can be rich by ignorance. Someone can be rich through ignorance, but nobody can be wealthy without knowledge. You can be rich through ignorance, but you cannot be wealthy. You can never be wealthy without knowledge. Yes, you can be rich by ignorance. That's why a lot of rich people cannot explain how they gather their wealth. They can. Somebody can just wake up tomorrow, get a number and play a lottery and win the lottery. He becomes rich overnight. Sorry, somebody can play lotto, somebody can play rifle and win a whole lot of money. That money makes him rich. So and for you to know that he's rich by ignorance, he might play the same card tomorrow and he won't win. So it comes by luck. Riches comes by luck. But wealth comes by knowledge. Wealth comes by knowledge. That's why some of the rich people who die and leave their riches to their children, or some of the wealthy people who die and leave their wealth to their children, if their children are not taught the knowledge on how they can expand and grow their wealth, definitely the money will vanish. So it doesn't matter who is involved. All acquire wealth, no matter what you do, definitely you will end up a puppet, you will end up a poor person, you will end up starting from the scratch. If you don't have knowledge, that's why they say knowledge is power. Knowledge is power. If you don't have knowledge about money, if you don't have knowledge about how to create wealth, definitely you will be running around circle. You will be running. That's why a whole lot of people, it does not matter where you are positioned, it does not matter what you are doing, it does not matter how much you are earning today. If you don't have the knowledge on how to create wealth, definitely you will end up being poor, or you end up as a rich person. That's why you see even politicians, after their tenure as politicians, you see them being poor within a short period of time. Some athletes, some celebrities, you see them being so rich while they were on the top of their games, on the top of whatever they are into, but at a very short period of time, you see those people beckoning to the society for help, because they were rich, but they had no knowledge on how to transfer their riches they've gathered to wealth. That is where the problem lies. That is where the problem lies. And most people will not tell you. The hardest thing the rich will tell you is how you can be. The hardest thing the wealthy people will tell you is how you can transcend from being a rich person to a wealthy person. That's the highest thing they can tell you. That's one of the secrets of the wealthy people that the rich people might not get, that have gathered money in the past. At the end of the day, you see them begging, you see them declaring bankruptcy and all that, because they had the money, but they had no knowledge. So like I said, you can be rich by ignorance, but you cannot be wealthy without knowledge. For you to be wealthy, you have to have knowledge. That's why if you are a Christian, you check the Bible. When a man called Solomon was made king of Israel, when he was made king of Israel, God sent a prophet to ask him what he wants. He said he needs knowledge. He said, God, I don't want wealth, I don't want anything, I just need knowledge on how to live, knowledge on how to govern. And God granted him the request, and according to he became one of the wealthiest of his time. Why? Because he had the knowledge. If you don't have knowledge about wealth, about money, you cannot be wealthy. You might end up being rich, but you can't be wealthy. If you don't have knowledge about money, you may end up being rich, but you cannot be wealthy. Now, what does it take to be wealthy? Now, you have to do a lot of study to know. First of all, you have to check the wealthy people in your society? Who are the wealthy people in my society? What are they into? What are they into? What kind of thing are they into? Like I said before, wealth is a process. The difference between rich and wealth, one of the difference between a rich person and a wealthy person is duration, is time. It is time, duration, the timing, the time. A rich person's money expires with time. A wealthy person's money grows with time. It grows with time. Now you ask yourself, how can somebody transcend from being a rich person to a wealthy person? Now you have to have knowledge. You have to have knowledge. You have to study the economy. You have to study business. You have to study investment. You have to know where do I put my money? How do I put my money? You have to seek advice. You have to seek advice. You don't join the bandwagon. Everybody is investing in this. You just run and invest in it. Everybody is doing this. You just run and dive yourself into it. That does not make you a wealthy person. You have to study. You have to study the movement of the economy. You have to study the timing. You have to study what does people need. What does people need, and why do they need it? What are the riches? What are the rich people or the wealthy people doing? Now, if you study the global economy, from 2010 to 2020, 2010 to 2020, you will understand that a particular kind of people were wealthy. A particular kind of people were wealthy from 2010 to 2020, ending of 2000. And who are those people? These people are people that owns oil. The people that owns crude oil. They were the wealthiest on the planet Earth. When you check, you can Google it. The first people on the, they were number one wealthiest in the whole world between 2010 until 2019, 2020. But by the end of 2018, 2019, they start diversifying. Aramco is in Saudi Arabia. They start diversifying. Why are they diversifying? Because they know that from 2020 to 2030, them that were on top will definitely be on the list. Yes, them that are on top will definitely be on the list, because from 2020 upwards, as we are in 2020, most 80% of the cars will no more be using crude oil. 80% of the cars that will be driving on the street might not be using petrol. So by this, these people will run out of market. They won't have money to spend anymore. Nobody will be buying their oil. Like what we are seeing globally now, the oil price is below 0% dollars. It's not up to even $1. Yes, that is what is beginning to happen. And with this kind of situation globally, things are changing. 2010 to 2020, you will see the people that are on top of the list. But now, from this moment, when you check the wealthiest people or the people that are the prospective wealthy people in 2020, all you have to see, what you will see there is, you will see people like Microsoft, you will see people like Amazon, you will see people like Facebook. People are going into technology. So there is a shift. There is a shift in wealth acquisition now. There is a shift in wealth acquisition. So for countries that base or that have their natural resources, crude oil, as a means of foreign exchange, those countries will be left alone, because nobody, I said absolutely no country will be ready to be buying such a thing. In the next 5 years, crude oil will be like Africa, that might be, that might still be using some policy to be operating on gasoline cars and all that. But if all things being equal, if people should follow the global trend that is moving, you understand that within this short period, in the next decade that we've entered, you will understand that gasoline and crude oil will be nothing in the world market. So now, countries that are very, very wise, that has this crude oil, they are actually diversifying. That's why you see countries like Saudi Arabia opening up for entertainment. Those kind of things were not done before. Women were given license to drive. Now wrestlers goes to that country to entertain the people, and the country is making millions of dollars from entertainment, other than crude oil that they usually made money from. So what am I trying to say? What I'm trying to say is, you don't follow the bandwagon. You have to learn how to diversify. You have to learn how to change. You have to learn how to follow the trend. You have to know where the trend is moving, so that you will calculate your step and join into the moving trend, so that you can turn up tomorrow to be wealthy. You can be wealthy tomorrow. So like I said, wealth is a process. One of the problems with our generation is that we like quick fix. We don't want to take time. We don't want to take time to harness something. We don't want to take time to groom something. Like the children that we have, we should understand the way we groom our children from being from toddler, they start walking, they start growing. That is how people grow wealth. Riches are pure different from wealth. You can be rich, you can drive nice car, you can build a house, you can do those are, you are on the level of rich. You are rich. Yes, people can call, oh, this man is a rich man, but there's no worthy person. Everybody might be rich, but few are worthy. So you ask yourself, what do they do? What are they doing that makes them wealthy? Wealth is an accumulation of resources that can last from one generation to generation. That is what we call wealth. So how do you do it? You do it by knowing what you will invest in, and actually sticking towards growing it. You have to invest in what is trending, what is acceptable, and work towards grooming it. That is it. Now, the list to be one of the wealthiest in 2020. These are companies that have over 200 billion revenue. They make over hundreds of billions revenue per year. These are the kind of people, they understand what people want, they dive into it, and they begin to create what can service people's need. And when you are being a solution to expand your being a solution to people, the wider you create wealth. The wider you expand your horizon of being a solution to people, the wider you create wealth. Now, you can check it. Let me tell you something. The 10 wealthiest people in the society, are into 10 different kinds of investment. 10 different kinds of investment. You can check it. I'm about to call now. From these 10 things, I'm about to call now. The first kind of wealthy people you can see all over the world, the people that controls the world, all over the world, the wealthiest people you can see that controls all over the world is the people that are into agriculture, manufacturing, food production, They are one of the wealthiest people in the world. The people that gives us information technology, IT, Microsoft. The people that are into hospital equipments, hospital management. They are one of the wealthiest. The people that are into entertainment, because a whole lot of people are depressed, people are depressed, people are suffering from loneliness, so people need to be entertained. Now another one, people that are into clothing. No matter what you do, you cannot go naked. You have to find a way to clothe yourself. You have to find a way to clothe yourself. People that are into transportation, what I mean is shipping, airline, freight, cargo. These people makes a whole lot of money. They are very, 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 very rich. Now people that are into online transaction like Alibaba, Amazon, all those people, they are very, very rich because they've discovered that people don't want to stress themselves going to the mall, going to the market, going to buy. So they check it online, they buy it online, they make their money. So they create those platforms for those people so they can easily get what they want. So these are people who controls the wealth of the world. Now another one is people that have gone into property. People just build a house, they rent it. But now the whole thing has changed. People wants to collect their money instantly. Okay, like this period, most people don't pay house rent because of the global pandemic. Most people don't pay house rent because of global pandemic. And after the global pandemic, so people will negotiate with their landlords to know how they can start settling some debt regarding the house rent and all that. But there are people that understand this, so they don't want to have a house where people can just stay and give them money per month. So they create service apartments. They create all these things. They use their money. They create service apartment. Put people management that can take care of this service apartment. Clean it up. You come. You pay per day. The same money the landlord will be clamoring to make in a month. Somebody that has service apartment is actually making such kind of money within is making times 10 of that amount of money within a month. So those are, you have to have knowledge. If you don't have knowledge, you cannot create wealth. If you don't have knowledge, you cannot create wealth. No matter what you are, no matter who you are, no matter how much money you have, the money you have can make you rich, but it cannot make you wealthy. So what you have to do now is you have to check, where do I go into? You have to check, where do I go into? If you want to go into agriculture, you can go into agriculture. You don't need to be planting seeds, because most seeds takes 8 to 1 year to harvest. You might not have such kind of patience, but you can start by owning a fish pond. You can start by owning a poultry farm. You can start by owning a piggery farm. Within a short period of time, if you are not within a place you can manage it yourself, you can employ people to manage it. Now technology has made it very easy for you and I, that you can stay wherever you are and monitor your business. You can stay wherever you are and monitor your business. All you need to do is you put in internet through your screen. You can use your screen to watch how your business is going. You monitor it. You monitor your business and pass instructions. Now when you are around, you can expand it. And why agriculture is very, very important is number one, whether you like it or not, like I said yesterday, whether you like it or not, someone must eat. Why people are very, very worried about the lockdown and all that is because of what they can eat. If government provides what people should eat within a period of 1 month or weeks, that people are to stay indoors, nobody will be worried. Nobody will be worried. People make money to feed themselves before they start investing. So what you have to do, you check it. What do people need? Now, all over the world, food and hospitality is food and hospitality and other healthcare is now considered essential. Is now considered essential. These things are now essential. Food is essential. Healthcare is essential. Hospitality is essential. So anybody that dips into this, they make their money. So a whole lot of companies that are into food production, they are making millions every day because people are clamoring to eat. Government is buying it in bulk to feed people so they can stay indoor, so they can control the widespread of the virus that is ravaging the globe. So you have to think in this line. Don't just stock your money thinking you are rich. No. Don't stock your money thinking you are rich. Your money does not make you rich. Your money does not make you wealthy, sorry. Your money can only make you rich. You have to calculate it. You have to know what you are going into. You can just use a very small portion of land, clear it up, study fish pond, get people involved, start it up, buy the feed. Before you know it, within 3 to 6 months, you are already making money, big money from it. You are already counting in millions based on the kind of currency you are have fish or meat or chicken. So all those things that people are looking or are after. Even you that is listening to me, you might not like to eat food if you don't have chicken inside your stew, if you don't have meat in your pot of soup. So this goes to tell you, if you can as a person, if you can't as a person eat without having such thing you call essential. Now check how many billions of people in the world that will also not do it if they don't have it. So now you check it. People that provide such a thing, what do you think, how wealthy do you think they are? When they put these plans together, they create long-lasting wealth. They create long-lasting wealth. One of the problems of people is when you are creating wealth, you also have to understand how to manage it. My father taught me something when I was very, very little. He taught me about savings. He taught me about savings, and he said to me that when you start making money, you should have 3 different kinds of accounts. I should open 3 kinds of account. So I asked my father how. He said you have to have an account for your business, servicing of your business. Now an account for your personal life, expenses and all that, and an account for emergency money, where you keep the emergency words for tomorrow in case of unforeseen contingencies, things you don't know that may happen. So he actually forced me to walk into creating such kind of account, and they've actually really helped me. They've actually really helped me in life. I took time to create such an account whereby most times people we can release something opportunity for you. Then when you don't have, when there is no money in your business at the moment, your personal servicing money is not enough, you can go into your emergency money and actually pursue whatever opportunity that have come before you. So why most people when they start business, they actually don't know how to walk themselves on the ladder of wealth by creating innovation, by being innovative in their business, by changing with the terrain of time. By changing with the terrain of time, you have to understand the shift. You have to know when to shift, when to change, when to upgrade, That's one of the reasons why a lot of companies don't last more than 5 years, or more than 3 years, or more than 2 years, or even more than 1 year, because when they start making money, they think that this money is just for their personal consumption. So they wouldn't know that you have to save money for the maintenance and for the pushing forward of your company. You also have to save money for emergency. You also have to save money for personal maintenance. So as I've spoken today, let me just make a recap of what I have said so far. I said to be wealthy, you have to have knowledge. You have to have knowledge. You have to know about investment. You have to know about wealth creation. You have to know about business. You have to know about market. You have to know you have to take your time. It doesn't take much time, but you really have to do it. You have to study it. Don't just dive into it. Ask questions. Get financial advisors. Let them advise you on what to do and how best to actually expand your money, so that it can be transgenerational. Let's not just get stuck by just being rich because it's one thing to cross from being a poor person to a rich person. The market, now that the global market has crashed, stock market is down. This is the best time for somebody to actually move into buying of stocks, because the price has gone down. Some things that maybe if this thing was sold in the stock market at $10 before the pandemic, if they are not essential products, as of today, their price might be $1. So what people will be looking at, like now, there will be boom after the pandemic. There will be boom in stock market, because people will rush into stock market to invest in stock before the thing start climbing again. So when you now go, some people can buy 1 million units of these things that have reduced from $10 to $1. They can buy 1 million units with $1 million, buy it with $1 million instead of $10 million. Now, when the pandemic is over and they buy this at the cost of $1 million for 1 million units, you understand that within a short period of time, it will rise, because what is causing the global recession, or what has caused the global recession, is the pandemic. So when the pandemic is under control, economy will rise again. That's why I say a lot of people who has money in their currency, who has money in their banks in their own country, should do well to do what? To make a withdrawal. You can withdraw your money now. You withdraw your money and actually keep it for now, or use it to buy dollars. When you buy these dollars, don't sell the dollar yet. Wait until when there is stability in the economy, then you can resell it and make profit. So having said this, I know and I want to believe that we've learned one or two things on wealth, on rich creation of wealth. You have to learn how to create wealth. You have to grow from being rich to wealthy. Hence, you have grown from being poor to rich. You have to do what? Accelerate. It's time for acceleration. Let's take this moment seriously and move to the next level. I want to thank you so much for being a part of this live YouTube uh, broadcast. I'll see you next time, God willing. I'll see you next time, God willing. Stay safe, stay committed. Thank you so much. All right, sorry I just went out. Like I said, I am almost done on the teaching on wealth. I'm almost done on the teaching on wealth, on money and future. So please, like I said, knowledge, you can be rich by ignorance, but you cannot be wealthy without knowledge. You can be rich by ignorance, but you cannot be wealthy without knowledge. It takes knowledge to create wealth. So a whole lot of us, we've grown from poor to rich, but most of us will get stuck at the level of being rich. So until you have the knowledge, you cannot transcend from being rich to being wealthy. You cannot transcend from being rich to being wealthy. And for you to be wealthy, you have to have knowledge. You have to have knowledge. So that knowledge is what I've shared so far, is what I have discussed so far. You can be rich by ignorance. Somebody can play lottery and be rich. You cannot be wealthy without telling story of how you became wealthy. It's not possible. Well, a whole lot of people can be rich without saying, this is how I made the money. This is how I made the money. A lot of people cannot say, this is how I made the money. They can't give a definitive description on how they made the money. Yes, but you cannot be wealthy without telling how you become wealthy. It's not possible. So Wealth is created by knowledge. You have to understand that. You have to understand there are difference between being rich and being wealthy. Difference is duration. The money of a rich man expires with time. It expires with time, while the wealth of a wealthy man increases with time. A rich man's money expires with time. A wealthy man's money expires. A wealthy man's money increases with time. A rich man's money expires with time. So you have to understand this duration. So if you don't have knowledge, you can never be wealthy. If you don't have knowledge, you can never be wealthy. You have to have knowledge. Where do I invest? What do I do? Where do I start from? What do I do now? Like I've said, a country that don't have knowledge now will be rendered useless. Most especially most countries that have their source of revenue through crude oil. If they don't diversify, definitely their own is gone. So you have to understand, for you to create wealth and lasting legacy, you have to have knowledge. Where do I invest? So you have to start from, you think globally, but you can start locally. Yes, think globally and start locally. Know where to invest your money now. If your country currency is fighting against the dollars, if your country currency is rising against the dollars, please find a way to withdraw the money and buy US dollars so you can make money, because after the pandemic, what you are buying for $1 in your own currency might be 10. It's like in my country in 2016, $1,000 or $10,000 was 1.6 million. In 2015, it was 1,600,000. If I had 1,600,000 in my account in 2015, I had $10,000. But if I still keep that money in that bank, if I had kept the money in the bank until 2016, $10,000 in my country in 2016 was 5.2 million. 5.2 million. Now you minus 5.2 million from 1.6 million. You minus 5.2 million from 1.6 million. Now you will be home with over 2-point-something million or 3-point-something million. No, about 2-point-something million, thereabout. 5.2 million. When you minus it, you are getting 3-point-something million. 3 million over. So you discover that your 1 million in 2015, your 1.6 million, which is 10,000 in 2015, that is in the bank, in 2016, it's no more up to, let's say, $500. It's no more up to $500 because of the economic situation. So the wealthy people, the rich people that wants to be wealthy, they have this knowledge. They study the economy, they study the movement. They just go and withdraw their money. When they withdraw their money, they now use it to buy the currency that is fighting against their currency. When everything stabilizes, they will now resell the money and make money, double money times what used to be in their account, and they put it back. At the end of the day, they are not losing money from any angle, because when you keep that money, you have to get almost, you have to get 3 point something million to make it up to $1,000 again. So, and it becomes a very tough situation. It becomes a very tough situation. So you have to have knowledge for you to create wealth. You have to have knowledge. What does people want? What are people craving for? What is it that people cannot live without? What is it? Check every celebrity you see today. Check every celebrity you see today that have grown their little wealth into billions of dollars. Check what they are into. You understand that most of them are into fashion. Most of them are into shoes, sneakers and all that. Most of them are into skincare products, because they know that those are daily consumables. Those are what people are clamoring for. Most of them are into agricultural produce. Most of them are into game, because they know most people are lazy. They just want to stay at home, play this game. Most of them are into entertainment. They actually just subscribe to Netflix. You just go and watch my Disney. You just go and watch. You are helping them to create more wealth. You are a rich person who is helping another rich person that has knowledge to be wealthy. You are a rich person helping another rich person to be wealthy. So that's knowledge. You don't have the knowledge, you definitely will lose out. You can't stay rich forever. You can't stay rich forever. Definitely you can't stay rich forever. It doesn't wait for you. If you don't transcend, you can't. The rich pole or the rich point is a staggering point. Is a flexible point that if you don't know what you are doing, it's either you flip to this side or you flip to this side. So it's either it flips you from rich to wealthy, or it flips you back from rich to becoming a poor person. It flips. So it's not consistent. The stage of riches is not consistent. You can be pushed back to where you are coming from. You can be pushed back to where you are coming from. But when you have knowledge, knowing full well that riches expires with time, but wealth grows with time. Understand that without knowledge, somebody cannot be wealthy. You can be rich by ignorance, but you can be rich by ignorance, you can't be wealthy without knowledge. Yes. So you can be a rich person, you live in a nice house, drive a flashy car, wear luxury clothes, go party around, go to luxury hotels. You are a rich guy, you are a rich person. But that's why when you see wealthy people don't actually do what rich people does. Wealthy people, they don't do what rich people does. Their lifestyles are different. When you see them, you see what they put on, you see how they behave, you see their lifestyle is very simple, but they control economy of countries. About 20 people in this world, in the world today, are controlling the wealth of over 7 billion people that are on earth because of knowledge. They understand they are human beings like us. They only apply their knowledge, apply their strength, knows what people want. One of the wealthiest people in the United States of America are the farmers. They are one of the wealthiest. They are feeding the whole nation. They are feeding the world. They are helping people. They are doing a whole lot of things. They are one of the wealthiest. They are the people that sponsors politicians. They give them money in billions. because they know when they push this money, within 1 year, you and I will eat and bring back the money. Sure, you and I will eat. So the question you have to ask yourself as a rich person is, what am I doing now to create wealth? What am I doing now to create wealth? To create wealth. These are the questions you have to ask yourself. If you don't ask yourself this question, I tell you the truth, at the end of the day, you might regret ever being rich. You might regret ever being rich. So, what am I trying to say? You have to have knowledge. You have to have knowledge. I have said so many things about interest. You have to, as a business person, as an investor, as somebody that wants to go into manufacturing or agriculture or anything, you have to understand interest. You have to understand interest. Now, for those who are going or who may love to go into agriculture, when we talk about agriculture is so vast. Farming is agriculture, livestock is agriculture, poultry, fish farm, all those things. There are ones that can start creating wealth for you or start making good turnover for you within a short period of time. 6 months to 3 to 6 months, you already making your money. You're already making your money stage by stage. There are people that sell seed. They don't grow it. They just gather the seed. They just sell the seed. People is stage by stage. Depends on your patience. Depends on what you want. Now, today, for most of us who are eating today, what you ate is someone's produce. You gave someone money. The person that produced what you've eaten today, you might not see the person in your life. You don't even know the person. But part of your money has gone to him. You went to your 9-11, you went to your 7-Eleven, you went to 99 to buy, or anywhere you went to buy whatever you've gone to buy. When you buy it, they will, when the stock is running down, they still go back to where they got it and pay to get more. Yes, that's it. So these are people that create wealth. They are people that create wealth. They have mechanized, it. They are wealthy. They have anything they need in life, they have it. Anything they need in life, they have it. They don't struggle to do anything. They don't struggle to buy anything. They don't think about anything they need, they have it. A wealthy person have anything he needs in life except life. Except the life itself. So if God grants them long life, they enjoy the labor of their wealth. They enjoy the labor of their wealth. If God grants them long life. So anything they need in life. But like I said, wealth is a process. Wealth does not happen overnight. Wealth is a process. You have to create it. You have to come out from your boss and create wealth. You have to sit down, plan it, think about it, study it before you start growing it. You have to. Don't be shy about it. Despite the shame, a whole lot of young people are proud to become something reasonable tomorrow. At the end of the day, the person you are hiding from seeing you, doing the right thing will not feed you tomorrow. So please, you have to understand this. Well, the richest people in your country, the richest people or the wealthiest people in your country, they are just doing common thing, providing food. In my country, the richest person in my country is a man they call Aliko Dangote. Dangote is the richest, in fact, is the richest black man in the whole world. What is he into? What is he into? He studied the environment. He knows that my country has a population of over 200 million. Over 200 million. Then he said to himself, if I should be providing what these guys are eating, definitely I know I'll be worthy. I know, although there are a lot of people in the market that provides, such kind of, but he pushed it in the market. So anywhere you go to the market, you must pick Dangote's products. You must pick his product. You must. It's a must. You can't eat in a whole week as a person in my own country without buying a product, one of the products from this man. You have to do it. So he understands it. He understands the needs of the people. So he has transcended from being a rich person to a wealthy person. Now he is the richest black man in the whole world. The richest black man in the whole world. What is he doing? Just providing consumable products, things that you eat on daily basis. That's what gives him money. He mechanizes it. He does it in a bigger way. Definitely. So, but remember, when he started small. When he started small. So you can start small and grow big. Dangote is over 60 years old. I don't know how old you are that is listening to me. I don't know how old you are that is listening to me. If you can start this year or next year, check your age with persistent, consistent approach to whatever you do it, you will see God's favor being on your side. Definitely, you will grow to be wealthy tomorrow. You will grow to be wealthy tomorrow. One of the things you know about rich people is when they gather their money, the next thing they look at, they think about what kind of car will I drive, what kind of house will I start building, where will I live now. This is it. Every rich person wants to show off. You want people to see that you have arrived. Every wealthy person wants to make impact. While the rich wants to show off. They want you to know they've arrived. The wealthy, they want to change life. Somebody like Donald Trump, you check his life, study his life, read about him. There was a time he was in debt. He was in a chronic debt for so many years. But because he understands how to create wealth. He was able to come out from debt, and now he's one of the richest of his country. No developed country in this world, no developed country you will go to that you don't have Donald Trump's hotel in there. I live in Malaysia. Donald Trump has a hotel here in Malaysia. You can Google it. One hotel called Grand Hyatt. He owns it. He's the owner of it. He's the owner. He has it all over the world. He understands it. He understands wealth. He has knowledge about wealth creation. And he has created it. And it's transgenerational. Now his children, he's the president of the United States. His children are managing his properties and his wealth. He has schooled his children on how to manage it. And they are doing so well about it. And now they can spend money. They can spend money the way they want. One of the young daughter who is dating an Arabic young guy, that his father owns almost all the luxury buildings in my country, Nigeria. You can check it. You can check that one of the daughters, when during her birthday, she and her boyfriend spent over 200 million on a property and lavish lifestyle. They have the money, they have to spend it. They are wealthy. Wealth is created with time. So you have to understand. And why I'm talking about this now is because the global economic crisis that we are in has actually created a platform for you to use your little money to go into one or two businesses that can build you tomorrow. Your wealth creation can start now. It can start now. You don't need to wait for tomorrow. It can start now. Everything is down. Stock market is down. Global market is down. Investment is down. So on this, I want to wrap it up. I want to see you again. I would love to see you again. Please, I want you to, if you have a question or you have something you want me to talk about by next week, because today is Tuesday, from tomorrow I'm already engaged in other things. Like most of you who don't know, I am a pastor. I'm also a family man. So I have other engagements that I am involved in. So, but at this period, Monday and Tuesday, I've created it as a free time. That's why I'm actually discussing about this. I hope you've learned a lot. If you are just joining us after this video, when the video is finally posted on my Facebook, on my YouTube page, you can as well watch to learn one or two things. It's unedited, it's just a live. I'm just talking out of experience so that we can learn. This was the kind of period that helped me in 2015. In 2015, that helped me. That's why I'm actually talking about this. If the pandemic did not happen, or if we are not in pandemic, I may not be able to talk about this now. I may talk about in future, but the time actually, the time called for it. So I want you to, if you've not subscribed to my YouTube channel, you can subscribe. You can write down your comment or your suggestion or whatever you think you have. If you have learned something from what I've discussed so far, you can just write down. Let me hear your comment. Let me see your comment. Definitely I will reply. I'll see you again next week with another life transforming topics. Next week I'll be discussing on 5 money draining activities. 5 activities that consumes people's money. So I want you to stay tuned, always come on board and be a part of it. Thank you so much.